So will there be room for rotation for Mikel Arteta? You can see Arsenal against Brentford. It's live on Sky Sports' main event Wednesday evening from 6:30.
A win for Manchester United yesterday, but what does it mean for Ruben Amorim's side and his match winner, Mason Mount? We'll be discussing that next. Welcome back. Now, Manchester United beat Crystal Palace for the first time in more than 5 years as Mason Mount scored the winner for Ruben Amorim's side. United are now just 3 points off the top four. Clinton, I know you would have been watching this one closely. I know you would have been working as well, but also watching this one. Ruben Amorim revealed that he told his players to be more alive during his half-time team talk, and they managed to turn things around. I mean, they were pretty poor in the first half, so much better in the second half. How, I suppose, pleased will United fans be with how they managed to respond after playing so poorly in the first half? Yeah,
they'd be happy with the second half performance. The first half of performance, nowhere near good enough. Palace should have been out of sight. On another day, if Palace take their chances, the game's over. What it was in the second half is that Palace started tiring through the squad not being big enough in Europa Conference League game on a Thursday.
Yep.
Man United capitalised on that, and you've got to capitalise. And they did make a few tweaks, Man United did, and Ruben Amorim, and they definitely did. They were, and in the second half, I wouldn't say that they deserved it, because I feel like a few mistakes, but they were clinical. So fair play to Man United, and it was a big result after the performance against Everton, where people were again questioning Ruben Amorim, and I think going 1-0 down as well. And you're always thinking, can they come back in the game? And they did. So fair play to Man United and Ruben Amorim and his team.
I think that's almost what's sort of more frustrating for Manchester United fans, because they're looking at it and saying, well, you couldn't get past 10 men of Everton for 75 minutes, but then you can play how you did in the second half against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, exactly.
Who had that incredible unbeaten record at home as well.
Yeah, they did. It's a hard place to go to Sellers Park, and fair play to Man United for getting that result, to be fair. It's Zirkzee here. And I think Dean Henderson, who's been a fantastic goalkeeper, he'd probably be disappointed, Dino, that he gets beat on his near post. But sometimes it was... No, it wasn't. In actual fact, that's a great finish. It wasn't that one. I think it was the Mason Mount. That's a good finish from Zirkzee. It's the finish here from Mason Mount. And the wall can do better. I think the wall lets down the Dino there, and that's where he beats him on his near post, because he takes that step, and the wall can do better. So in actual fact, looking back at that, it's not Dino.
You take it back. Take the criticism back.
Dino's been outstanding. It's not Dino. It's the wall. But good strike from Mason Mount.
Well, on Mason Mount then, because that was the difference in the end. That was the winning goal. Do you feel like he can push on now? Of course, he's been held back with injuries, hasn't he? The
thing with Mason Mount is injuries. He needs to get a run of games. We know Mason Mount's got so much ability. I do like him as a player. I think he's outstanding. But the thing with him is he needs to get a run of games. I feel like Mason Mount will play 5 or 6 games, and then he'll be out for a bit. And it's disrupted. It's up and down, because I think at his best, he's a top player, Mason Mount. He's got so much ability. So... I'm not going to say I was happy that you see him scoring yesterday. If it was against any other team, I'd be happy. But he's a player that you want to see his career kick-started.
And even moments like this, where he's trying to pick up one of his players as well, tells you a lot about him as a person, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, he's a great person. And, yeah, it's hard. One of his players there, I think it might have been Lenny Yoro, who had a bad game. He didn't have the best game, where Mateta caused him problems, gave away the penalty. But his teammates get him out of trouble. And that's what you need at a club like that. They're all together. And Mason Mount was there putting his arm on his shoulder. And that's what you need. So you know, at that football club, where there's been question marks before, there is great togetherness at that football club. But he needs to stay fit, because they're doing that without Cunha and Tesco. In particular, Cunha, who I think has been very good for Man United, and they're still getting results. So fair play to Ruben Amorim and Man United. Not first half performance, second half performance.
Fair play to Joshua Zirkzee as well, who's had his criticism in the past and got himself on the score sheet there.
Yeah, he did, and it was a really good finish from Zirkzee. And yeah, he's obviously getting his opportunity because of the injuries they've got in the front line. But you've got to take your opportunities. He hasn't played a lot of football this season, and that's all you can do, is when you're given these opportunities, can you be clinical? And he definitely was clinical with a really good finish there into the far corner. So, yeah, credit to him, but brilliant ball from Bruno Fernandes. But, yeah, good finish from Zirkzee, a really good finish. What Man United needed at that time.
Yeah, it was a captain's performance from Bruno Fernandes. Heading into this sort of really busy, festive period of course, I mean, it's a busy week, isn't it, with a couple of games this week. How do you assess where United are? Because it's the inconsistency that's clearly the problem. But when you look at the table, I mean, 3 points off the top 4. Do you feel like that's sort of where they should be? It's close, isn't it? It's tight.
No, it's close. And you know what? The whole league is close, I think, down to like 12th or 13. There's like 3 or 4 points in it.
You've got to take opportunities.
You've got to take your opportunities. And they didn't against Everton, but they did against Crystal Palace. And if you ask most Man United fans, would they take where they are now? They'd bite your hand off before the start of the season. And even though they've spent all that money, because I did think Man United for many years would take time to get back there. I'm not saying they're going to finish in the top 4, but they give themselves a good opportunity. It's just results like Everton, when Everton go down to 10 men, I think frustrates Man United fans. And then you go and put on a performance like you did in the second half against Crystal Palace, a hard place to go. So there is good signs for Man United, but it's the consistency. And that's the difference, because Man United could win 3 or 4 and then end up losing 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean? But they need to win, what is it, 4 or 5 for that guy to cut his hair?
5.
He's never cutting his hair, is he?
No, it's going to rumble on a little bit longer maybe. But I mean, West Ham on Thursday.
Yep.
It feels like every game is a big game for United, purely just to try and build a bit of momentum.
Yeah, well, that is a big game against a team, West Ham, who have picked up recently, but are fighting for their lives. But it's Old Trafford, so you got to make that a fortress. And at the moment, they haven't made it a fortress. I think a lot of people go to Man United and think they can get something. But if they can get a result against West Ham, then that would be a good week so far. And they look to the weekend as well. But that is a big game against West Ham, and they'll go into that game full of confidence. But they need some of their injured players back. Cunha needs to get fit.
Yeah, Cunha is huge for them, isn't he?
He's massive.
Well, as mentioned then, Manchester United against West Ham is live on Sky Sports Premier League. That is live for you from 7 o'clock on Thursday. Looking forward to that. Right, well, a win for Liverpool and a first goal in the Premier League for the club for Alexander Isak. Are things looking rosier up at Anfield? We'll be taking a look at them next. Welcome back to the Premier League show. Clinton Morrison still alongside me.
Just about.
With you. Plenty still to get through before 7 o'clock this evening. Fresh from his excellent display against Arsenal, we spoke to Reece James, who has big ambitions for the season.
No, we want to go for everything. As simple as that. Every competition we're in, we believe we have the squad to do it.
Simple as that. We're going to hear from Pep Guardiola as he gives an update on Rodri's return from injury as Manchester City aim to chase down the league leaders Arsenal. And there's a major boost for Eddie Howe, and Newcastle will tell you how far away Yohan Wissa is from finally making his debut for the club.
Vicario just had the head start and got there. But he's gifted it straight back. And there it goes! Oh, Harry Wilson! Horrific scenes at the back for Tottenham. And the giant cheer as he does what he should have done. A half-time reception that tells its own story. This was supposed to be the new dawn. Instead, it's a new low at half-time.
The fans, they have the right to do what they think.
That's unacceptable. It can't be true.